Hi, I'm Marc Edwards. Welcome to Travelogue and welcome to Qingdao, where they like to ha pijiu and chugala, which is local dialect for drink beer and eat clams. It's a city of almost 3 million people who are blessed to be by the sea and with temperatures that rarely exceed 30 degrees. There's a whole pantheon of tourist attractions, historical, cultural things for us to see. So let's go discover it. Well, it's a lovely Sunday morning and the perfect time to go and check out morning services at the Protestant church in Qingdao. Built in 1910, it was the first German church in the city. The Jidu Jiaotang, as it's known in Chinese, is one of Qingdao's quieter and more interesting sites. Although recently renovated, this church still retains most of its original style and charm. But what's even more impressive, as you'll find out if you make it in time for the service, is the sheer volume of people in attendance. The reason people are sitting on every available patch of ground is that the church is quite simply packed to the rafters inside, despite its seating capacity of over 1,000 people. The Jidu Jiaotang is an elegant structure featuring a red tiled roof and a clock tower, complete with a clock that still keeps the time. As timepieces were rare in China in the old days, the local residents relied on the clock to check the time, which explains the popular name for the church, the clock tower. Anyway, don't worry if you can't make it inside, as there are speakers on the outside, so everyone can enjoy the service.
My home is London, and basically I'm now in Qingdao. So
You're living
my home now is Qingdao.
Your home is, you're now living in Qingdao,
Yeah.
and you're fully Dutch or?
No, half Dutch, half Welsh.
Half Welsh, like me.
I understand your father is Welsh.
Yes.
And speaks Welsh.
Yeah.
In which case I have something to say for your father.
What is that?
15 bob size.
Which means?
You don't want to know.
Okay. That's it. How long have you been attending the service here at the church for?
Since I came here 3 years ago.
3 years
every
ago.
week.
And is it always this packed?
No, it's usually more busy.
I can't believe that. Really?
Yeah. Usually you have to come at least 20 minutes before, otherwise you will not get a seat.
Really?
Yeah.
That's incredible. I couldn't believe there were people actually sat outside listening to the service.
Christmas time you have to come 2 hours before, and there'll be 400 or 500 outside.
Wow.
Yeah. The beautiful thing is they're building a new church, which is going to be 10 times the size of this.
To accommodate all the people?
Yes, and that still is not enough.
Wow, and you mentioned that they were bringing in, there's going to be a new organ here as well.
Yeah, there's the original organ, which was unfortunately destroyed, and it's cost 4 million to bring it, and it's going to be built in Germany, and it's an exact replica, and it's going to come back to this church. And it's going to be beautiful to hear organ music in the church again.
Incredible. The church not only welcomes tourists, but it's also available for weddings. It's even got a choir to add some harmony to your favourite hymns. In Chinese, of course. We were lucky enough to witness a wedding at the church. These days in China, many of the wedding rituals resemble those in the West. There are similarities with the ceremony and the clothing worn, although a fireworks finale remains an important element of most Chinese weddings. While there may not be any fireworks displayed today, there's still most definitely a show. On the old Pichai Yuan, you'll be able to come for a cup of tea, some nibbles or a full-on meal, whilst the performance takes place in front of you. Once the band begins to whip everyone up into a frenzy, you'll get a real sense of being involved in the local lifestyle. These shows take place throughout the weekend, giving you that authentic taste of Chinese opera. For those who really appreciate this uniquely Chinese form of musical theatre, it's all about the expressions on the actors' faces, combined with the music illustrating the story. Along with the Greek tragic comedy and Indian Sanskrit opera, Chinese opera is one of the oldest dramatic art forms in the world. It traces its roots back around 1400 years to when the first opera troupe was formed by the Tang Dynasty Emperor Taizong. Many of the stories played out are timeless, which is why you'll find so many of the older generations tapping or singing along. Don't worry if you don't understand what's going on though. Most of the locals get their knowledge from watching these performances over and over again. Just in case you need a few pointers, however, try and identify the characters by the colour of the paint on their faces. Red stands for loyalty and general goodness. Black stands for wisdom and bravery. Gold and silver represent the supernatural. Yellow and white represent cunning and treachery. And green and blue, a rebellious streak, pride, cruelty, or a lack of self-control. Finally, the proportion of the face covered in the particular colour indicates the degree to which they embody that characteristic. But if nothing else, just enjoy the energy on and around the stage.